very, very heartfelt, warm welcome and good morning to Your Holiness. We are so honored to have you here, and so are the skies. The clouds have lifted, the fog's cleared. Thank you so much, so very much for being here with us this morning, and I'm sure we're all looking forward to the next few moments that we have with His Holiness. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have here young children from the Junior Modern School who will be singing a choir, a prayer, a song for His Holiness, and we have a live painting being done of Your Holiness as you watch it, sir. We have Mr. Vilas Nayak, who's here, who will be painting this morning, as some of you have already seen. So one more round of loud applause and welcome to everybody gathered here today.
Firstly, I want to thank you. Really wonderful. Quite a miracle. But in the meantime, I want to show you my teeth. There looks no proper teeth. Thank you. I think, careful.
Come. This is Vilas Naik.
Wonderful, really. Expert. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Yes, okay. Careful. Whenever I talk, I always start the word brothers, sisters. I have some reasons to call you brothers, sisters. Firstly, we all human beings, we are part of 7 billion human beings on this planet. The way we born and take parents' affection, particularly mother's affection, including mother's milk, we survived. So entire 7 billion human beings, their life started that way. Same. And the way die, same. Then, because of that, we mentally, emotionally, physically, we are same human being. We all have this feeling of self. Although the explanation about self, there are differences in philosophical fields. Doesn't matter. Everyone, including animal, have the feeling of self, I. Animals, no word, but the feeling I, there. With that, feeling of pains, pleasure, also same. I think also we are same. The pains and pleasure on physical level and mental level, basically same. But we human beings, differences this special brain. Therefore, our memory is much stronger than other animal. And also thinking power, thinking power much stronger than other. So I think human brain is something quite unique. So now, sometimes we neglect sameness of human being and sense of brotherhood, sisterhood. Sometimes we are lacking. With too much emphasis on secondary level of differences. Same human being, but on secondary level, differences of color, race, and furthermore, different faith, different sort of system, or these things. On a secondary level, there are many differences. Fundamental level, we are same. Now, since I think through human history, a lot of problem, mainly those problems which we human beings are self-created. All we created on the secondary level of differences. On that level, we create a lot of problems. And on secondary level of differences, we develop concept of we and they. Through that way, you see, in order to gain we, sometimes without hesitation, killing them, bully them. Now, even today, I think, generally speaking, education highly developed. However, still, man-made problems still there. And worst case, religion is actually, all major religious tradition is source of inspiration. Right?
No.
Because all religion carry message of love, forgiveness, tolerance. However, that very source of these sort of inspiration itself now causing division. So therefore, it is very, very important. Now think, we are same human being. So I always say talking, we really need a sense of oneness of humanity. And particularly, a lot of problem due to secondary level of differences. Now, only method is go deeper level. We are same human being, same human brothers, sisters. I want happy life. I want peace. They're also human brothers, sisters. They also want happy life. It's a peaceful life. When we have this kind of conviction there, then no basis to harm other. So therefore, irrespective whether believer or non-believer, or whether educated, uneducated, or wealthier person, poor person, we are same. As I mentioned earlier, all 7 billion human beings' life begin with human affection. So love and affection is, I think, very much because of the basis of our survival. Now, some scientists say that after birth, next few weeks, the child's simply physical touch with mother is key factor for further develop or enlarging our brain. Then children who received maximum affection at a young age, the whole life, deep inside that person, more sense of confidence. Children who received lack of love, affection from their parent, from their mother, no matter how sort of successful life, deep inside, some kind of sense of insecurity there. So now, furthermore, the scientists, they notice constant anger, constant fear, hatred, actually eating our immune system. Therefore, you see, anger, fear, these are very bad for our health. Peaceful mind, more compassionate mind, very helpful to get healthy body. So some scientists now concluded basic human nature is more compassionate. So I think imagine if we sort of one person is a kasata on sea or some remote area, you left just one single person alone. Then fear and exhaustion. At that moment, one human being see there, without any question, what is that nationality, what's their color, what is their faith. Not thinking these lines, just I saw one human being there at which sorrow, how should they, the feeling of sameness. So try to approach. So that's the fundamental sort of our nature, like that. And the secondary level, I think we create a lot of sort of problem. And this country, unfortunately, the caste system, even you see the upper class person is even difficult to touch. The same human being, isn't it? I heard some report, this is some well, which upper class use, the well, the lower class you cannot drink from that water. So all these secondary level, we too much emphasis, secondary level of differences. So now today, I think material through technology, highly developed, still developing. And education also, you see, generally speaking, I think, for example, this country, India, since independence, I think education is a much highly developed. But man-made problem within this country, corruption on the basis of race or class system, some sort of discrimination, and you see, corruption among the politicians or businessmen, and because lack of the conviction we are same human being, because of that, the gap rich and poor increasing. And then other countries, a lot of problem, man-made problem. So then feel very sad. On top of suffering out of nature disaster, because of global warming, now these definitely will increase. And the human population also increasing. So in the reality, each people, each country, each continent, their future depend on other country or other sort of continent. The reality, we really become one world, but mentally, with too much emphasis, we and they. So on top of nature disaster, nature difficulties, man-made problems, still there, I think very, very unfortunate. When we saw people, human being, killing another human being at various different reasons, including religious, different religious faith. And then some country, poor people facing starvation. And Syria, and some different countries, now, because of Yemen also, right? Due to violence, young children dying. same human being, same right. We cannot remain indifferent. So we have to do something. Try to create happier humanity. Now, in that respect, youth, people whose age below 20 years, 20 or 15, even I think below 30, you are, I usually describe, you are the generation of 21st century. Me and some teachers, we say older than 30, 40, 50, me now 80, over 80 years. So we belongs to 20th century. So 20th century gone. So generation of 20th century also now ready to say bye-bye. So sometimes I feel the generation of 20th century, we create a lot of problem. That means, see, the generation of 21st century have to solve this problem. I think, anyway, if peaceful world, then you may not have much sort of opportunity to show your inner strength and your intelligence. So therefore, the generation of 20th century create deliberately more problem. Let them solve and let them use intelligence more realistic way and determination, willpower from warm-heartedness. All these problems, our intelligence should be look long-term interest, wider perspective. Then violence is totally wrong. Even disagreement, the proper way is through understanding, through friendship, reach out, through dialogue, have to solve. Any differences come, relying use force is totally wrong, outdated. Whether national level or international level, I think using force is outdated. We must have vision. Ultimately, this world should be disarmed world. And this century should be century of dialogue. In order to develop disarmed world, firstly, we need inner disarmament. And here, our intelligence, our brain have very important role. And our intelligence alone sometimes create more problem. So this intelligence, warm-heartedness, these two things combine. Intelligence with warm-heartedness combined. Then our intelligence becoming more, positive way. Otherwise, many sort of these troublemaker or warrior, they also have the same human intelligence. But then their intelligence combined with hatred, anger. And then, disastrous things happen. Therefore, now you, young brothers, sisters, you are the generation, all our hope on your shoulder. please think more seriously how to build happier world, and ultimately compassionate world, not through religious teaching, not through prayer, but through education, through awareness. Anger, no value. National level, international level, individual level, only harmful. Other hand, warm-heartedness, individual level, your body more healthier, your mind become peaceful, your family also much more happier, your community also become more happier as a result of practice of love, compassion, warm-heartedness. So through that way, even national level, international level, I think through warm-heartedness, then there is real possibility to achieve happier world. So through education, I feel it is possible. Through prayer, I don't know. I think through centuries, including Buddhists, we pray. But still problem not there, lot of problem there. So sometimes I was telling people, you see, all these problems, such as violence, we carried, not created by Buddha or God. Jesus Christ, or all those sort of great masters, they always talk love, forgiveness, tolerance. So sometimes I should expressing, if we have opportunity to see Buddha, to Buddhist, or to Christian, Jesus Christ, and so on, if you ask them, please bring peace on this planet, then I think they may respond, who created problem? Who created violence? Not God, not Buddha. Human being created. According to Christian sort of theory, we use freedom of
Free will.
free will, wrong way. Very purpose of creation of human being is happier humanity, not miserable humanity. So therefore, I think God most probably say, who creates this violence or problem? You create. So it is your responsibility. So will not solve, cannot solve by ask me or God's blessing. So therefore, now we must sort of act, particularly when we face some problem. There is tendency to develop anger, then violence. So such occasion, and we must use our intelligence, think, long-term interest, wider perspective, then you will get the conviction of violence always harmful. So through non-violence. So therefore, so long human being living on this planet, some problems, the source of sort of, or say conflict, danger of possibility of conflict, always there. So then, whenever sort of, or say the differences come, possibility of conflict, we must solve. We must try to solve that through talk, through dialogue. So in order to achieve peaceful world, peaceful century, we must promote spirit of dialogue. In order to carry meaningful dialogue, love others, respect their right, their view, and sense of same brothers, sisters. So oneness of humanity is the key factor in order to carry meaningful dialogue. Okay. So now, this generation really are very important. Now we are beginning of 21st century. So if you, the generation of 21st century, at now on, make effort, you will see happier world, peaceful world. We, generation of 20th century, will not see, but doesn't matter. Okay. So sometimes I jokingly used to telling people, since generation of 20th century, after we die, we may, according Christian belief or some other belief, is either we go heaven or hell. So in case I myself, go hell, I will get sort of permission to visit world. Then I will come from hell with permission to go world, and I will watch the world, the generation of 21st century, what they are doing. If you really carry, this sort of principle, non-violence, dialogue, brotherhood, sisterhood, and oneness of humanity, then when I return to hell, I will report, oh, now humanity become more compassionate, more sensible. So now, time come, the size of hell reduce. Other hand, 21st century's generation still carrying violence, killing, bully, corrupted like that. Then I will report, even the place of hell should expand, because a lot of people are ready to come. So like that. So therefore, you, the generation of 21st century, I think you have the ability, you have the opportunity, and you can enjoy with peaceful world. Okay. So that I always stress. Think more seriously. And then with that, our existing education system, sometimes I have some critical view. Existing education system very much oriented about material value. Eventually, whole society, through that kind of education, they create materialistic life, materialistic culture. So in material sort of value, not much sort of rule, warm-heartedness. So bully, cheating, these for temporary benefit, then people usually should go. Even educated people, they don't care about honest, about truth, like that. So secular education should include some moral education, not necessarily with religious belief. Without religious belief, simply basis of scientific finding, as I mentioned earlier, and our common sense and common experience, we can educate people the value of warm-heartedness. So that eventually, I think, should include a secular education field. And then lastly, when I'm meeting with young people, then I myself also feel younger. When I sit together with old people, old people, if may I say so, some of these old people, when we're together and in deep inside feeling, you go first or I go first. So with young people, and I also, short moment, feel younger. So thank you very much. The organizer gives me this opportunity. Thank you. Then I would like to thank also those musicians and also the person who draw my face. Wonderful. I think I really admire. Very quick. Like that. So thank you. Now question and answer. Question.
So we have questions here from several of our students, which they would like to ask you, Your Holiness.
Yes.
This is from a student from class 11 from the Mira Model School. She's asking, we all feel anger and even hatred sometime or the other. Your Holiness, how come you are always so calm, so peaceful and optimistic? Do you ever feel these emotions?
I am same human being. So anger, fear, also part of my emotion. Therefore, I deliberately try to use certain method or certain way of thinking to reduce these things. So I can assure to you, if we use the method to reduce these things, not over because one night, right?
No, overnight.
Overnight, but years, certainly we can reduce, we can transform our emotion. I can assure to you, assure to you, through training of mind, not through prayer, through training. Training means analyze. We call analytical meditation, not single-pointed meditation, but analyze. What is the useful? Anger. And then analyze the sources of anger, the conditions where, the condition of anger, analyze. Usually, you see, I also use analyze this, the condition where, conditions of the anger, analyze. If that is the problem, whether can solve or not. If can solve, then no use, no need anger. Without anger, you will solve the problem more easily. With anger, more difficult to solve this problem. Some problem, for example, with your neighbor, some problem. If you show them anger, the problem will increase. In spite of some problem, still you keep sense of neighborhood and sense of brotherhood, sisterhood. Then, at the moment, very angry face. But then, you see your gentle way of handling the angry face day by day change. If you, because of some negative things, some problems, if you show them anger, then their attitude also become worse. Even international level, global level, wherever use force, the counter violence always happen. So therefore, For example, Iraq crisis. I know President Bush very well. Since first meeting, I developed a very closeness feeling. So I love him. So after Iraq crisis happened, another occasion, our meeting, I told him, I love you, I respect you, but some of your policy is concerned, I have some reservation. We both laugh. The reason, September 11th, the tragic things happened. So next day, 12th September, I wrote a letter to President Bush while I expressed my condolence or my sadness. I expressed this problem hopefully handled with non-violent way. Then, unfortunately, eventually use force. I think today's some problems, I think due to that sort of method, use force, and try to eliminate Saddam Hussein. I think with sort of wrong calculation, just one dictator removed, then things will be okay. No, things are much more complicated. So now, more in I have many sort of Muslim friend. Some Muslim friend told me, after that, some Muslims' mind, the attitude towards the United States become more negative. So like that, this is one example. I think Kashmir problem, 1947 or 48 or 46, 47. I think at that time, both sides use patience and try to solve mutually agreeable solution. I think then today, there will be no more Kashmir problem, but use force. So still, then divided Kashmir. So still some problems remain there. So in such case, I think India's 1,000-year-old tradition, ahimsa, ahimsa very much related with karuna. So individual level, individual problem, family problem, national problem, international problem, I think should solve through combination of karuna and ahimsa. So that's my view.
This is from another student who's present here, Nikhilesh, from the Navy Children's School, again class 11. Do you feel, Your Holiness, that inner peace and world peace can come closer if we stay connected with both?
Inner peace.
Yes, I already mentioned, without the inner peace, how can develop world peace? It's with full of anger, suspicion, distrust. How can develop genuine peace? Even family level, between parents, between brothers, sisters, a little sort of distrust, suspicion. That family, no matter how rich, that family will not get genuine peace. Poor family is full of trust each other among the family member, full trust, love each other, then that family truly happy, peace. I think even visitors, the family where some cold atmosphere because of distrust, suspicion. Even visitor come at once and enter that room, that house, feel some cold. The family were maybe poor, but full of love, full of sort of affection. As soon as you enter there, you feel, you get the warmth. So, as I already mentioned, we always thinking external value. So internal value, like love, this is, we can increase because this intelligence, with help of human intelligence, we have the ability to develop infinite love. Other animal cannot. Although social animal, some limited sort of love or sense of community, they are, because they are for their survival. But cannot develop infinite love. Only we human beings can develop infinite love. So therefore, use our intelligence and go right direction. Then this intelligence, wonderful. If this intelligence combined with anger or negative emotion, then this intelligence really create a lot of disaster, really create a lot of disasters. So inner peace is a key factor. Yes.
We have another student from class 10, Your Holiness, Kanav from the Delhi Public School, Gurgaon, who wants to ask you, I'm so young, Your Holiness, what can I do at my age to solve global issues in order to create a better world?
As I also feel, when you think about the problem which we humanity facing, and including environmental issue or global warming, then one way I feel helpless. I cannot do much. Just one single person. Then think, these problems can reduce, if not solve, Kazoda,
At least reduced.
completely. Certainly we can, I think global warming, environment, this is certainly, or recently one meeting with some scientists, the ozone layer, last, I think, 2-3 years, because big company, they take some sort of precaution. As a result, they degenerate about ozone layer. Last, I think 2-3 years, you see, much less. So that really give us sort of encouragement. If we make some sort of measure, take some measure with awareness, with help of this human intelligence, to some extent we can sort of protect the environment issue, these things. Long run, I think the global, the whole sort of solar sort of system, decade by decade, century to century, changing. So eventually, this world suddenly become a desert. You see, we will not see that after sort of, I think, several thousand years, then that kind of things possible. So then we don't worry. So within lifetime, I don't know, not only our lifetime, but next several generations, not that kind of danger. But in any way, this shows, see, also with awareness, making some sort of preventive measure really effect. So therefore, now there is possibility change, some change. There is possibility to develop peaceful world. Now, if we expect from government level, even for United Nations, they cannot do much. People's movement, when in the meaning of people's movement, people means combination of individual. So then, I feel, yes, I'm among the 7 billion human beings. So, as my own share, I must sort of think, I must talk, I must work. So similarly, each of you, part of humanity, one individual, is with proper sort of
Vision.
proper vision and make effort, then at least one student you can share with another 10 your friends. Each 10 say share with another sort of 10, that means each one 10, that means 100. Through that way, 1,000, like that. So that's the way. Now, for example, this great teacher, when they, because of the founder, their own sort of tradition, their own religion, and start, you see, no mass movement, but a few individuals. Then gradually increase. So similarly, our sort of work, I think here, this country, I think the freedom movement, I think some other people also there, but one, I think, significant person is Mahatma Gandhiji. If Mahatma Gandhiji feel, I am just one single person, I cannot do, remain like that, and then whole this movement will not come. One single person with full of courage, determination, carrying work, then more people join, then finally the whole nation, you see, movement come. So, should not feel you alone, you just as a single person, I cannot do much. That should not think. Okay. I also feel that. So then thinking, as I already mentioned. Yes, next question.
So this is another student who wants to know that do you really believe that someone can be tolerant to ideas and practices of different religions while being fully committed to their own?
그래서 줄로 둔지.
줄로 담아도 상마도 직 둔게 치토에 치다 임발라 수수랑 루디 시미에티 치토에 여름에서 수수랑 줄로 거리나디.
All major world religion, that means many different Hindu traditions like Sangha and Jains and many other, and also Buddhism. These are homegrown different religions. Then Zoroastrian, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, later Sikhism, this is a major world religious tradition. Now look, this country, I think generally speaking, I think religious harmony is wonderful. I think India is the example of religious harmony. So therefore, I often, you see, expressing to my Indian friend, now India should take more more effort to promote religious harmony to international level or global level. Now look, Middle East, a lot of problem. Even within same Muslim, Shia and Sunni, this problem. And to some extent, Muslim and Christian. So here, this country, some individual, yes, some problems occasionally. But overall picture of this country, I think religious harmony is really remarkable. So now here, the old major world religious tradition, I usually, you see, see three aspects. Religious aspect, all major religious tradition, same, all carrying same message of love. Many sort of sincerely, seriously sort of practicing their own tradition. Or we can see wonderful people like late Mother Teresa and many other. Very wonderful. So like Mother Teresa, sort of such sort of dedicated sort of life with such determination. Their sort of source of such sort of determination come from Catholic tradition. Wonderful. So if you think seriously, then yes, now this is all major religious tradition carry same message. Since practice or message of love is key practice, so all major religious tradition also carrying the message of tolerance, forgiveness, and contentment, and tolerance, and self-discipline. All religions carry that. Then philosophical aspect, yes, there are differences. For example, Jainism, Buddhism, and Sankhyaism, no concept of creator. The rest of all religions, you see, have the concept of creator, God, creator. And within three, non-theistic religion, you see, two believe Atma. Buddhism, no concept of Atma. Instead, Anatma. There are differences. Even within Buddhism, there are many different schools of thought. Vaibhashik school of thought, Sautantic school of thought, Chitta Mantra school of thought, and the Madhyamika school of thought. Within each, there are different subdivisions there. So therefore, all these come from same teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha. Because among his own followers, there are people who have different mental disposition. So therefore, different philosophy is relevant. So same teacher taught different philosophy, even in some cases, contradictory philosophy. I often used to telling people, is Buddha Shakyamuni taught contradictory philosophy. Why? Not due to Buddha's own mind, not very clear. So one day he taught this kind of philosophy. Next time, different philosophy. So his own mind confused. Not that way, not that. Buddha we consider enlightened. And then, Buddha Shakyamuni deliberately tried to create more confusion among his disciples. No, Buddha is compassionate. So then the answer is, among his followers, there are people who have different mental disposition. Therefore, according each individual's sort of way of thinking, way of kasoda,
thinking.
mental kasa, mental dispositions. So it is necessary. Different philosophy, different concept. It's useful. Therefore, now for example, the rest of Buddhist school of thought consider Madhyamika philosophy is nihilism. A lot of argument. So both is taught by Buddha. To some people, Madhyamika philosophy is much more effective, I think including myself. To some people, the Chiddamantara's sort of, because of the philosophical view, is more effective. So like that. So therefore, it becomes very clear among humanity over nearly 3,000 years. You see, there are different location, different climate, different way of life, certainly different mental disposition. Therefore, we need different religion with different concept or philosophical views. All same goal, same aim, strengthening or bring conviction about value of love. For example, the theistic religion or the central sort of faith is God, creator. The non-theistic religious viewpoint, that's wrong. But you see this, the theistic religious, according to theistic religious tradition, God, our creator. Actually, one occasion, I discussed with one Catholic monk, really wonderful monk. I discussed, according to your tradition, the previous life, different sort of, because of the different lives. What is wrong if you accept that? And he mentioned, no, according to our Christian sort of faith, this very life created by God. So that's very, very powerful. This very life created by God. So then it immense help to develop a feeling of intimacy,
Closeness.
closeness with God, like truly our Father. So more closeness feeling, more determination to follow Father's wish or Father's guidance. So very, very powerful, very powerful. So God means infinite love. So our Creator is infinite love. So firstly, we all have the seed of that God's, maybe in form of God's blessing or ultimate God's nature, the infinite love. We also have the loving kindness by nature. So then, you see, more willingness to follow as our fathers or what's the pattern way, like that. So therefore, that kind of philosophy, very, very powerful, very important. And then to different people, another different kind of people, yes, the concept of life after life. And according law of causality, the future, no creator, but your own sort of, happy life entirely depend on your own action, your own motivation. So emphasis, all responsibility on yourself. That way of approach to some people, very effective, very useful. So different philosophy there, but same purpose, to promote the sense of compassion, love. The third aspect is, I don't know the proper word. Sometimes I describe the cultural heritage. or certain tradition,
habits,
certain habits. That, I think all major world religious tradition have a certain habit or tradition that very close the system of the society or situation of the society at that time. So, for example, some my friend told me, telling me, when Jain master come about around 2,700 years ago, at that time the animal sacrifice is immense. So the farmers' economy also some effect. So at that such circumstances, the Mahavira come and he special emphasis non-violence, don't kill animal, and vegetarianism, these special emphasis come. Then also Buddha, after I think 30, 40 years, Buddha Shakyamuni come. Also you see emphasis, not that much because of the strict, but still same line. Whereas in Muhammad come, and Jesus Christ, you see the different sort of situation. Like Judaism, under difficult circumstances, then you see sometimes you see stress, because
an eye for an eye.
Eye for eye, that kind of sort of, under difficult circumstances, in order to protect yourself, that kind of sort of, idea comes. Then Jesus Christ, you see, when someone hit you, you should show this shake. So more emphasis about tolerance. Then Muhammad come, I think in that area, I think there no proper rule of law, more nomad life. Some crimes, naturally some happen. So there are no proper rule. Therefore, this area more nomad. So therefore, in his teaching, Sharia law, you see, comes. And then also one aspect of all these, the structure of these religious institutions, more or less, I think some influence from feudal system. So, in the society, sort of, the
way of life.
Society, now today, democratic society. So therefore, some sort of structure of institution of religion which developed during feudal system, these, I think some modification is necessary. So therefore, in my own case, Dalai Lama institution, as early as 1960, I think 69, one of my official statement, I mentioned the very institution of Dalai Lama should continue or not up to Tibetan people. Not necessary to keep this institution. And then recently, 2011, since 5th Dalai Lama, Dalai Lama automatically become
The
head of both temporal and spirituality. Now that formally ended, 2011. I relinquished all sort of political power to elected political leadership. Since then, I truly become humble Buddhist monk. nothing to, so all political sort of responsibility carried by elected political leadership. I totally sort of retired like that. So, And then not only myself retired, but also, you see, the century-old this institution, a system, the system officially, formally, proudly ceased now. What do you think? Too much revolution? Revolutionary thinking?
In keeping with all that you're saying, but a huge thing to do.
So actually, as far as socio-economic theory is concerned, I am Marxist. Truly, I believe the Marxist economy, equal distribution. I think wonderful. And Karl Marx, during the industrialized industrialized in Europe, I think worker suffer too much. So he sort of create that philosophy or theory, the workers sort of right, then equal distribution. I really admire. I'm not capitalist. Capitalist only think about money, 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 money. The Marxist economy, there is a moral principle, equal distribution. Isn't it? And then, of course, another sort of my sort of favorite thing is modern science. So I usually describe I myself half Buddhist monk, half scientist. I love science. Next question.
So one last question which we have here from one of the students, though there are many in the audience who, given a chance, I know would love to ask more. But the one that I have here is a student saying, what's the one message, because I have learned so much this morning, what's the one message that I can take back with me today from you, Your Holiness?
I think be kind person, compassionate person. That's key thing. And education should be supporter of that basic principle, basic value. As I already mentioned, you see, the education, when we are young children, we, by nature, we don't care. Other sort of religious belief or different sort of nationality or different color. So long we play together with smile. Same. Then gradually we join education institution with education. Then this religion, this nation, that nation, these things. Then I think basic our value, young children, same human being, play together. Now that eventually changing. Now too much emphasis about the secondary level of differences. So now education should include the further promotion of that basic human value. So one single sort of word is be a compassionate person. Okay. All your knowledge, education combined with that. Then firstly, you yourself remain more happier person, more smiling person. Education alone, without that, look this side, little suspicion. Even smile, artificial smile, or diplomatic smile. So, smile brings, you see, sort of trust or happiness. I think dogs, cats, if we really sincerely showing our affection and with smile, they appreciate, isn't it? So we human beings, when we show our smile, then I also used to feel when I smiling, the other person also smiling to me, I feel very happy. And sometimes you see when I also smile on them, their side no smile, still remain like that. Then sometimes you say I said
Tickle.
ka
Tickle.
tickle. Oh, then they respond smile. Silly. Yeah, same human being. The different sort of position, sort of different thing, even rank, just our creation, not from birth. Sometimes some royal family, you see, from one occasion, you see, the Kasa,
Karan Singh.
Jammu Kashmir,
Dr. Karan Singh.
Dr. Karan Singh, very close friend of mine since 1956. So one occasion in Delhi, the interfaith religious meeting. Then you see, I told him, you as a sort of prince of from Raja family, I come from just ordinary farmer, quite poor. But as far as sort of receiving amount of love from my mother and spend with mother, and also you see, taking mother's milk is concerned, I am more fortunate. The Raja's son,
The IS.
or IAS take care, isn't it? I think Maharani, I think remain like that. So that aspect, you see, I more fortunate. Poor family sort of child. And then I usually see telling half joke. It's actually true. You see, when I was young, say, we are poor family, a village family, so no sort of toys or these things. So usually, and no ayah. So therefore, you see, my mother always carrying me on her shoulder when she went to farming in farm field or look after animal. She always carried me. So eventually I feel very comfortable on my mother's shoulder, sit like that. So then I become more bold, and hold my mother's ear. When I want to go this side, I do this. Go this side, go that. If mother not follow my sort of wish, then I shout on mother's shoulder. Give some punishment, my mother. So my mother, really very, very kind villager woman. I think I never saw my mother's sort of angry face. Always smiling. Very, very kind. Not only towards her own children, but also, you see, our neighbors, you see, children. One occasion, nearby village, some famine. Famine. So many Chinese. Then you see, this is Chinese. You see, come. And then my mother told me one occasion, one parent carry their daughter's dead body. Then my mother asked, "Oh, I will help you to bury." Then the parents say, "Oh, we are going to eat because nothing to eat. Very serious famine. Then my mother cry. Then request them, my mother, all my because of kitchen,
No.
all sort of
Provisions. Provisions.
things,
Food.
give them, and please bury your dead, the dead body of their daughter. So I believe the first teacher of love, compassion is my mother. So I think you also have the same experience. Those students who have very, very kind mother, I think you feel much happier, isn't it? And then teachers also very important. Teachers should provide smile and should carry a sense of responsibility the whole life of the student. And then student trust you. With trust, the whole lesson goes deeper in their mind. If relation between teacher and the student more formal way, or not human level close feeling, then the student also, I think, whenever enter the classroom, you feel some burden, isn't it? In the class, teacher really showing you like your parent. Then when you enter the classroom, you really feel happy and fresh. And with that, all lesson is really
Goes deep.
absorbed in your mind in deeper way. And then mostly, several years in school, that kind of atmosphere is your physical development better, your mental development better. Otherwise, cold and sometimes fear, very bad, very bad. So therefore, I think the teachers, in order to produce a nice human being, students are very, very important. So that not only themselves and also their parent, but also teacher, I think, great important role. I feel like that. So I got my own sort of experience. My teacher give me lesson with kind attitude, then I feel very happy. Some occasion, my teacher face a little bit angry face. I don't like. Then I feel, oh, now the session,
If it may be short.
session should finish as soon as possible. When you see teacher show me love and friendly attitude, then more time or forget you see time like that. So that's human nature, isn't it? Like that. So therefore, the ultimate thing is teacher side, parent side, the students, children or student side also. You see, we all, you see, same human being. Our most important thing is kind, because of the warm-heartedness. Even you sick, because on bed, surrounded by kind nurses, compassionate nurses, you feel much happier. That also my own experience. Sometimes you see the doctors, nurses, certainly expert doctor, special doctor, expert, but sometimes treated you like a machine without smile. And sometimes I feel, oh, that doctor might carry some experiment on me. Doctor, you see, shows affection, smile, and gentle handling. Then you feel, oh, he or she really helping me. So because of the kasari means profession important, but most important is the motivation. But the motivation, you see, we can read the motivation on their face. So therefore, I think main thing is I also carry. Top most important is warm-heartedness. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I made because of the my mind some kind of setup or shaping my mind. Or rest of the day, I should carry some sort of service to other. Should not create any sort of difficulties, any harmful thing to other, including insect. That's really very helpful. I want to know, if you look my face, what do you think my age? 81, I already mentioned. Without knowing that, just judging my face. I think some of my friends say 70s. 60. So I think one occasion, you see, some of my old friend, after 10 years, 15 years after we met, then you see they expressed to me, oh, your face, not much change. What is your secret? They asked me. Then I also respond, oh, that's my secret. I don't want to share. Then I explain nothing. 9 hours sleep. That's very good for our health. Then whole day, and including my dream, always peace. So my mind, quite peaceful. So these are, I think, major factor, the healthy body. Only problem, few years ago, because gallbladder, lot of stone, and then remove that. So this body now, this is a body now without gallbladder. So, except that, you see, my overall, my health, my sort of the health, very good. And this niece, 2 years ago, I think 2-3 years ago, is I met, I show this problem to one, of course, many other sort of physicians, many other specialists, but one German specialist, I show my niece. Then he told me, he checked thoroughly, including whole body sort of condition. He told me, oh, your health is excellent. Now, he told me this problem, my niece, he told me, you are not 18 years old person, but 80-year-old person. So this more or less natural sort of process. We can't do much. Very good, very good. So overall, my physical condition is good. So those of the people who want a healthy body, also you should have healthy mind. And then especially, you see young girls, if you want because a beautiful face, you should smile more. Then looks very nice. No matter how beautiful, but without smile, or something like that, then that's not good. So I think a proper way to bring a boyfriend or boy, girlfriend I think genuine warm-heartedness is key factor, isn't it? Wealth, artificial beauty, not much. Real inner beauty is key factor. So, thank you.
So we have a very heartfelt way of thanking Your Holiness. And those of us from ITAHAAS know that we do a one-hand wave and a clap for having spent such a lovely morning listening to you, Your Holiness.
Thank you. I really enjoy mixing with young people. So I really feel very happy. And also talk. And you really showing kasa attentive survey. Being attentive. So I feel satisfied. Older person, more experience than you. So, and also is my life, not an easy way. At the age 16, I lost my freedom. At age 24, I lost my own country. There are a lot of difficulties, a lot of problems. Mentally, there's a lot of sort of heavy responsibility. 6 million Tibetan people inside Tibet, they're very much hoping, that was me. Trust me. I cannot do much. And then also seeing the world, a lot of man-made problem. Occasionally, I'm, because of that, dear, nothing can be done. So in spite, there's such sort of experience, the deep insight, self-confidence, optimism, that very, very helpful to keep peaceful mind. So I also, you see, same human being. So you may find the old person who passing through difficult period, however, can keep peace of mind and a healthy body. So please, some of my sort of experience may useful to you. Thank you.